Hello, baby Bam Bam Bumkin here. I'm making this video because I wanted to bring up a subject that happens to be in the news quite a bit lately, as I've noticed. At least in the United States, and in Salt Lake City. But it's been making a lot of international news, and I wanted to bring it up. Being that I am a Mormon, and that I am a member of the LOA, the Latter-day Order of Amen, which is the true and living Mormon church. Anyhow, the reason I'm bringing this up is that there is the LDS, which is probably the largest of groups. That they don't call themselves Mormons anymore. They're actually the LDS. Anyhow, there's actually another group closely related to the LDS called the FLDS, and they're a fundamentalist group. That means they practice really what they see as co-LDS, which is really closer related to what Brigham Young, the leader of both the FLDS and LDS church, started. And we are not descended from Brigham Young's church. I just want to say that, by the way. But anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is because lately the FLDS has been in the news a lot, and I wanted to discuss and talk about how there are quite a few differences between us and the FLDS. We do not take child brides. We do not bleed the beast, per se, which is when you take advantage of the government. The LDS is pretty known to do that as well. And I thought it was interesting that they raided their temple compound, that the U.S. government, or at least Texas, raided their compound. Now, Texas is its own country, okay? Texas says, they're kind of like Utah. They say that they're part of the United States, but really they're their own country, and they have their own laws and their own things going on. George Bush, being a Texan, has put us more in the United States as the realm of the mindset of some Texans, but Texas is its own country, okay? And it's a pretty large country, and they actually, and that's where the FLDS currently is. Now, one thing that I thought was really weird is that the U.S. government, or Texas or whatever, storms their temple. They take all their children, and then there's a lot of talk of them putting these children into foster care. They take their children from the families, and it's really strange because you may be anywhere in the world, anywhere you are in the world. What if the local police, or vigilante, or, some type of military or something just stormed your home and took all your children away? Now, polygamy is supposedly illegal in the United States. These people have been practicing polygamy forever, for as long as the churches existed. And the irony is, in the state of Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, where I'm from, in the state of Utah, people think, oh, there's all those polygamists. Well, do you know what the largest practicing polygamist group is in the state of Utah? They're not the LDS. They're not the FLDS. They're not the LOA, which I happen to be a member of. The largest practicing group of polygamists in the state of Utah are Muslims. That's a fact. So I have a surprise for you. You can watch your Big Love or any of these polygamous shows, and there's more Muslims. Can you imagine if the government stormed a Muslim home and took all their children? It just couldn't get away with that stuff. So all I have to say is I do not agree with the FLDS in any which way or form. We are not members of the FLDS. We do not have anything to do with them. We pre-exist them. We've been around a lot longer than them as a secret inner organization. There may be members of the LOA that have infiltrated the LOS in the past. The LDS in the past. But here is one example of where the FLDS is different than our group, the LOA. Here's one thing that separates us from the FLDS. We don't have these walk-in hairstyles. They have these walk-in hairstyles that we of the LOA don't really have these. People are allowed to wear this hairstyle if they want to, but we don't really have them. I guess the thing with the FLDS is that these walk-in hairstyles, the higher you can get this front piece to get, the higher that you can get that to go up into the L, that actually means that you're closer to God. It's kind of like a Tower of Babel type thing. If you can get that thing to get higher and higher, that's the closer you are to God. I really feel well that injustices have been made. This is all on the hillside. Okay, the local police and government end up getting a phone call from a supposed 16-year-old girl. Help, I need to get out of here. I've been taken against my will, and just on the hillside, they weighed this whole place. They haven't found that girl. They don't even know who that person is. It could have been just a neighbor down the street that thought, oh, that compound temple over there is a big eyesore. And so, you know, I know from watching the Will and Jeff's case and all the Will and Jeff stuff that there's a lot of things going on with child brides and little kids over there. And so just on that hillside, they raid the place, take all the little kids. Now, who are the two victims here? I think it's all the FLDS children. They say they might place them into foster homes. That's going to be really sad. They're taught to learn that the outside world and the Gentiles are vile and evil and to avoid them at all costs. While Will and Jeff's possessor, the big boss #1 down there at FLDS now, is a free man running around. He's running around a free man, just doing his own thing. So who's the two victims here? All those women are left over there. Granted, it's against the law to practice polygamy in Utah, but I mean in Utah and the United States and Texas and all those places, but it goes on. It goes on through all kinds of different religions and groups outside of even Mormon groups. Thank you. I'm Baby Bam Bam Bumkin. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that helps explain a little bit more about Mormons versus the FLDS versus LDS, etc., etc. Out.